lessons learned from El Salvador. You did this kind of on a smaller country. Will this scale? Will people spend Bitcoin? Anything that we should know that you learned while doing that?
Yeah. So the coolest thing that we learned or experienced, and because we talk about these things, right? So we're already like years and years ahead or something else. And so we're working with the banks there. The number one question that came up throughout the entire process of funding your wallet, using it to pay for things, setting up an account, all these other things. Number one question by far, anything else that was out there was, what is Bitcoin? So we aren't even to the level of how do you actually do any of this. It was literally, what even is this stuff? And that's actually why I get very excited about it. So I already have my own opinions. As a Bitcoin enthusiast for a country mandating that Bitcoin is legal tender, I think that sort of is against the Bitcoin thesis, in my opinion. So as a very active user, I saw that as like, that's okay, but I'm not really going to cheer for this because like this is a centralized thing. It's the whole thing of like having choice, and now it's getting forced. Of no, now you must use this, and a lot of people applauded that. I was like, well, it's not really the ethos that and it is what it is. So I'm not saying it's bad, but I have that little bit of reservation around it. But I'm super excited though, because you have millions of people, literally millions, have now onboarded to the system that are learning about it. So that's really the silver lining that I see. And so you're taking, 1 or 2 billion people that are asking the questions, what is Bitcoin? And now they're starting to know. And that is really exciting to me. And that to me is like worth putting so much time and effort into what this looks like in the future, because whether it's Bitcoin or other assets, just these systems and what they can start to enable, for everyone is really exciting. So that's the thing I think, number one learning from that. Lots of hard work, by the way, and the team has done just such a phenomenal job in setting a lot of that up, particularly one of our co-founders, Trevor, who's really led a lot of all of that work with the banks, and our product work has been phenomenal. So then even on the legal side, we had to go get, the ability to operate a money services business and legally transmit all of this money between all these banks, in 90 days. That was a process, to say the least, but one that we did. And we worked with an entire team and our team and went through to make sure it was done legally. And with the right, not just can't go fast and break things in this financial world. Like you get one shot and the credibility that you have. So, but yeah, that's from all of that, just the enthusiasm and knowing that now millions upon more millions of people will start learning about this where, and then not to go too much longer, but you saw Facebook and DM, right? And that I feel the same about.
Yeah. What did you read there? What did you read on Facebook and DM?
So is DM a Facebook competitor? And if you're a Bitcoin person, should you care about DM at all? Like, probably not, right? It absolutely is not. It is so fundamentally different in every single way, to where the Facebook coin or otherwise has nothing to do with Bitcoin. They are fundamentally different things. But sort of this theme that I've really been weaving together is, though, more people have digital assets, more people are going to want to spend them. More people want utility around this. Oh, what else is out there? Oh, what's this Bitcoin thing? Oh, I can do this, but without the centralized entity, and I can set up my own. I get told. So I see it being a very similar effect. And now you're dealing with billions of people. So I think they have something like 1.7 billion worldwide users. So now, you see something like in El Salvador, what is Bitcoin? Now you're going to have 1.7 billion people saying, oh, what is this? What is DM? How does this actually work? Like, what is this? Where did it come from? Oh, there was an old white paper, and it's evolved a lot. So again, I'm not trying to say the merits or demerits of the token, but it's going to open up so much enthusiasm and usage, and I think everyone will start to benefit. Merchants would get much cheaper transactions, so this is going to be a great utility system for them. And then people will start getting onboarded and use these sorts of products way more than ever before. Like I'm hoping it really becomes an inflection point for all of us, in that when people see this, there's so much momentum around it and news, positive and negative, but everything all happening. I'm hoping that it's actually going to be a really big deal. Not like overnight things change, but where this starts to tip and where this starts to go from there, I'm very optimistic that it can. If I can launch and do 10% of what it says it can, I think it could be super interesting.
And that's for DM, and it'll also just pull the rest of the ecosystem along with it.
Absolutely a black hole. I think it's good because new users now that have no idea what any of this is. And when we talked earlier around user interfaces, right? Like, I've got to imagine Facebook will make a pretty nice interface for how you interact with like these tokens, or even just your balances. Now that's something that others can then see. And then, oh, guess what? Now the 1.7 billion users that now have a framework for working with these things, right? To understand what balances look like, how do you send it, how do you, like, all of this, even just UI UX. I mean, they're probably one of the most prominent UI UX entities in the entire world for good or sometimes evil, right? Like, they are for what it is. Now they're going to employ that to payments, and we're going to be able to benefit from that. They're going to be able to balance management, token management, sending to, like, I just see all these things, and the opportunities are so widespread to where I can't be anything but bullish for me and others in crypto. And that will just, it'll bleed into a lot of the other things that we're doing in a positive way, even though I am absolutely not saying that DM has any business whatsoever as a competitor or an alternative or anything related to Bitcoin or these others. They are wildly different things. It's like saying, here's my gold coin, and then here's like a rock, right? Like, they look a little similar, but they're totally different things.